Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome in. Thanks so much for being with us today on the Frangie Show. I'm Hayes Carolina, joined with Hacker in for Frank Frangie. Good to see you again, sir. How you doing?
Hayes, I'm good, buddy.
Cool? Yeah,
yeah. It's a hot one out there
today. JJ, how are you? Everything good?
Amazing. I'm feeling good.
No World Cup today.
It's first time in 27 days.
How about that?
No football.
Well, we're not going to let that stop us. No. And we're not going to let a 4-1 setback to Belgium stop us.
Absolutely. I didn't even realize we lost to Belgium.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to do.
First time hearing it.
We're going to do a World Cup draft. We're into the quarterfinals, so we will each take two teams. Hacker, you're our guest. You're on the clock. You'll go first. Then JJ. Then I'll go twice. And we'll just pick 6 of the teams. 2 teams just won't get picked. And those nations can.
We should have done this for Loser Monday.
It would have been fun.
Yeah,
it would have been fun for sure. And so anyway, this doesn't have Bono's writing on it.
On the line.
Yeah, it's just going to be 50,000 a man.
Yeah.
But it should
Which
be fun.
I'm good for, by the way.
Yeah, it should be fun. So that'll be good. But no soccer today.
No, did you see what Flo Balogun said though on Twitter yesterday? Or last night? Basically apologizing to the United States fans.
About time.
Yeah, you know what? And it's interesting because I know Pulisic did an interview after the game where he essentially said, we got to learn from this and get better, and we got to get to that next tier and all this stuff. That is not what the fan base wanted to hear. I think Flo Balogun in that Twitter tweet or that post on X last night kind of became the face of U.S. soccer. Apologizing to the fan base. He's 25.
Okay.
He'll be 29
so
at the next World Cup.
So he definitely has one more left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, I did. Now that you mention it, I did see him, and I saw people responding like, this is what a real captain looks like. So, yeah, good for him.
I expected Pulisic like that night to come out with a statement, but he's still nothing.
He's to me, like J.J. McCarthy. Like,
he thinks he
accepts
hot.
no blame.
Yeah.
He's flawless. Like,
I'm the star
why
of the
can't
team.
you see how great I am? Like, anyway,
that's so true about him, man.
In terms of, are you surprised that? And we're going to get to a number of other things. We're going to get to the NFL in our next segment. We'll do our Week 2 preview and picks to follow up what we did yesterday. Again, I think it's going to be really fun. We get to the end of the week, we're going to have 4 weeks of predictions, and it's going to give us a sense of teams that might start out hot, might start off in the hole, getting into October. But I saw a number of articles today on the U.S. soccer coach
I saw a crazy one.
Yeah, with
the
them basically saying,
Fox,
how could you possibly bring him back?
He's getting dragged online for that.
Okay, good. I didn't think it was a coaching issue at all.
Dude, we should be begging Poch to come back, man. That basically a guy that works for Fox, he wrote an article that was it would be a disgrace if we allowed the guy who was responsible for the worst beatdown we've ever had to be our manager. It's dude, did you not watch the entire turn? Are you new to this? We should be groveling at the feet of Poch, asking him to come back, dude.
Right.
We are lucky that we ever had a guy like that, man. So to me, I was thinking did he hear something? Is he told maybe that he's not coming back and this is his way of Fox's way of getting in front of it, maybe? I hope that's not the case. But thankfully, he got completely dragged online for that terrible take.
That's what I thought, because everybody seems that you have been very much endorsing his return, and it seems like,
if you put
again,
that
the Jaguar fans that are also soccer fans that I follow, you can tell, you want him to come back, don't you?
Yeah, like I said, it looks completely different. They look much better coached. Now, again, the result, they still didn't get past the round of 16, but as JJ pointed out, they scored 11 goals. It was a more entertaining brand of soccer. I'd like to see him come back and obviously like to see him go further next time around, but I don't think you're going to get anybody better than
if there
him.
was this tons of candidates that are just clawing to get their way to the U.S. national team, but there's not. This is not some job that everyone wants.
What's the college football job equivalent of this? South Carolina when it comes open?
That's a good one. That's
Something
a good one.
that.
And so, because we hosted the tournament, it got a lot better for this time around. That's why a Poch was willing to go and take that job. But yeah, look at our managers in the past. They're all MLS or has-been coaches.
If I have one complaint about FIFA, the way they do the coaching for teams, it's really bizarre how a coach can coach Panama, and then 4 years later he can be the coach of South Korea. I mean, you would think if you have born in that country to play or have grandparents or your parents born in that country to play, you would think the coach would have some sort of family past in that country to be the coach.
Most of the time, but not all the time.
No, but that's not the case. I mean, you got coaches like literally one guy was the coach of a Caribbean nation 4 years ago, and he was the coach of, I believe, South Korea or one of those Asian countries this year. It's like, what are you doing? Just signing free agent contracts all over the world to go coach these national teams when you have no affiliation to them whatsoever.
There's these guys that are club managers, which they're the elite guys, really. Like Poch is one of them. But then there's these guys that are like the international who, like Hack says, they'll just go from country to country, like tournament to tournament. It's a really weird existence. And
so when they're singing the national anthem, I'm not sure how much loyalty to that given country.
Like if you're not from that country, you don't sing the national anthem. That's why people were so pissed at Jesse Marsh, who's the Canadian manager, because he's American. He played for us. He thought he should have got the job. He was upset that he was overlooked and Poch got it. He's like all in for Canada now. He was singing the national anthem like loud and proud. Like people were sort of annoyed about that. But yeah, it doesn't matter where you're from nowadays. Like England's manager is a German. And that's, England and Germany have been rivals for a pretty long time. Long time now.
Yeah, that goes back a ways.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. No soccer
and
today.
He does not sing the anthem.
Yeah, in terms of games, but we'll do our World Cup draft in about 45 minutes. That should be fun. Also, I want to talk about DJ Lagway today because after the show yesterday, we kind of mentioned him in passing, but then I got a chance to see a little bit more of him at Big 12 Media Days. He's lost 40 pounds, at least. He looks way slimmer than he did last season at Florida. So I'm curious, are you rooting for him? How good do you think DJ Lagway can be at Baylor? Would you be shocked if he ended up being great in college? We'll get to that in about 20 minutes. I have been thinking more about this Billy Donovan to the Spurs deal, which they have yet to announce, but I can't imagine it doesn't get across the finish line. But could Billy Donovan going to the Spurs maybe keep Todd Golden at Florida a little bit longer? If you're Todd Golden and you do want to get to the NBA, well, I would have assumed the Spurs would have been the top destination for the chance to coach Wemby. But I'm going to let you guys kind of fill us in on, if you're Golden, which stars would you be prioritizing trying to align with and coach if Wemby isn't available? If Mitch Johnson does get fired and Billy Donovan, as we would assume, takes over there. And then we'll get back to the NFL in 5 o'clock as well. Again, we'll do our week 2 preview and picks right out of the gate in our next segment. But Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow all missed the playoffs last year. If only one gets back, who would you bet your money on? So that'll be a fun conversation. So lots to get to coming up on the Frangie Show. Again, Frank on vacation. He'll be back on Monday, but Hacker kind enough to sit in for his 3rd day. He'll be with us tomorrow. And then obviously I'll have the lead with Ryan O'Halloran on Friday. But it's going to be fun. And I'm looking forward to the World Cup draft and seeing kind of which direction that we go in. So lots to get to. Hack, I know you're a huge tennis fan. Are you still paying a lot of attention to Wimbledon? And
yeah, I mentioned this yesterday or last night because the match was still going on when you and I were on yesterday. One of the great moments that we've seen in recent tennis history happened yesterday when 39-year-old Novak Djokovic won a 5-hour and 15-minute 5-setter to get back to the semifinals at Wimbledon. He's 39 years old. Now, in tennis terms,
that's 80.
When you get into your late 20s, early 30s, you start slowing down. Man, when you're 35, if you're not one of the greatest of all time, you're done. And for a 39-year-old to go out there yesterday and play over 5 hours at Wimbledon and win in a 5-setter, that is just something that I'll remember for a long, long time.
And I wanted to ask you about this Cinderella story that's going on at the All England Club. Wildcard Arthur Ferry is into the semis. He's world number 114.
And he's from Britain,
and he
too.
grew up a mile from where Wimbledon is contested.
I mean, it's a great story. We remember Tim Henman from back in the day. Henman Hill, and certainly Andy Murray. I mean, they've
been down for the Brits have been down for a while.
And he's played great. I mean, he won the 3rd set today 6-love over Cabelli to advance, and he gets Zverev in the semis. Yannick Sinner and Djokovic is also going to be an incredible semifinal. Coco Gauff on the women's side has an opportunity to get to her first Wimbledon final. So, yeah, I mean, to me, I was a breakfast at Wimbledon guy 25 years ago. I remember going up with Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi and Yvonne Lindell and Boris Becker, Stefan Edberg. I mean, you can go on down the line. I loved it. And then Djokovic and Nadal and Federer took over the sport, which is fine. I'm a fan nevertheless. But an example, Taylor Fritz, the American, lost today. That means the streak will continue. No American male has won a Grand Slam in tennis since the 2003 U.S. Open.
Andy Roddick.
When Andy Roddick won it 23 years ago.
That's incredible.
It is incredible.
Sad.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. So we've got lots to get to coming up, but let's start the Frangie show off talking some NFL. We'll do that next. We're going to get it to week 2 matchups and our predictions. We did week 1 yesterday. Should be a lot of fun. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Can you crack the code?
I'm sending you the code.
10, 10, X, L.
Isolating his radio.
9, 2, 5.
The clock is ticking.
F, M.
Get all that?
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Homeowners running out of space in your kitchen, closets bursting at the seams, or maybe your bathroom just feels outdated and cluttered. At Harvest Construction and Remodeling, custom cabinets are what they do best. Owner Scott spent years as the main cabinet installer for one of the region's largest big box retailers. As a family man growing his own business, he brings that experience directly to homeowners like you. They'll create beautiful storage solutions that improve look, feel, and function. Visit harvestrenovations.com.
License number CRC 1331012.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Find out what new golf equipment could help your game.
Well, I'm just a humble golf pro. Could I help you?
Get great golf tips and talk from the experts on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Got to figure out why I'm still shaking the ball.
Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter? I came right over.
It's my water, Jason. Smell this.
Yeesh.
That came out of my tab, Jason. I'm worried there's a lot more in there than just H and 2 and O.
Well, yeah. In Jacksonville, we have some of the hardest water in Florida. There's calcium carbonate in there and magnesium sulfate and...
I'm sorry, calcium... what now?
It's the same stuff that makes those cool stalactites in caves.
Well, it's making my shower all powdery, my tabs all crusty, and caves make me claustrophobic.
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing. And our water treatment experts will do a free water quality test. We'll check for minerals, bacteria, anything that might make your water smelly or damage your plumbing or appliances.
And if it's bad, you can fix it?
Your glasses will come out cleaner, your shampoo will lather better.
I like a good lather, Jason.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here again for my friends Chad and Sandy at Chad and Sandy Realty. To maximize price on your home, you need more than a sign in the yard. You need a proven expert with an aggressive marketing plan. That's why more homeowners are turning to Chad and Sandy Realty. Chad and Sandy's Market Max system is a proven plan. It's going to get your home sold fast for maximum price. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. But this is bottom line. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline or they will buy it. No required repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. Just listen to Eric and Jason, brothers in Villa San Jose. After losing our parents, my brother and I were left with a family home to sell. After 196 days on the market with another agent, it just sat there. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, gave them a call, got full asking price less than 27 days. So call the local agents who guarantee to sell your homes. Call Chad and Sandy today at 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle and Sons win. It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
It is Tuesday, or it is Wednesday.
Today is actually Wednesday.
I was right the first time.
Yeah, you were right
Back
the
to a
first
Coyle
time.
and Sons Wednesday since 1927. They've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Coyle and Fencing. Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank on vacation. He'll be back on Monday, but Hacker is here. We've got JJ. I'm Hayes Carline. All right, let's get to it. NFL Week 2. It starts Thursday, September 17th with a dandy. Detroit at Buffalo. Hacker, who you got?
And this is going to be the opener for the Bills in that brand new stadium up
That's
there.
right, because the Bills open at Houston.
Yeah, you think about the Bills' first 96 hours of the season at the Texans, home against the Lions. Holy moly. But they're opening that brand new stadium. I mean, how can you lose in the grand opening of your brand new $2 billion cathedral? I'll take Buffalo in that game.
JJ?
Yeah, I do like the Lions to have a better season than last year, but not in this one.
All right.
It's going to be a loud, rambunctious crowd that night.
All right, Bills take down the Lions. Let's get it to the Sunday 1 o'clock window. Carolina at Atlanta.
I'm going to go Atlanta. Again, I like Stefanski as the coach. I think he's going to bring something there. I am curious if there's going to be a legit competition between Michael Penix and Tua. We'll see how that plays out. But regardless, give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I think the Panthers have a fallback this season. I like it. We had Atlanta win in week 1.
I'm trying not I'll answer this, but then I want to stop because I don't want you guys to start getting like biased on what you picked yesterday.
So don't tell me then.
Okay,
I'll go with Atlanta winning this game.
All right. So Atlanta gets the home win over Carolina. Let's get it to New Orleans at Baltimore.
I mean, on paper, this looks like this should be a beating. The NFL, you never really know, but I'll take Baltimore. The one thing I will say is I forgot about this. How about that 1-2 combo in the Saints backfield of Etienne and Kamara? I mean, is there a better running back duo in the league than Travis Etienne and Alvin Kamara?
A lot of it is what does Kamara have left?
Yeah.
But I've said this, because he makes a lot of money. If he was willing, and Kamara kind of has hinted that if the Saints ever release him, he's just going to retire. Apparently, he's like a NASCAR avid fan, wants to get really involved in it. So he kind of already has his next post football life set up pretty well for him. But if I was the Jaguars, I'd be very interested. When you get to the trade deadline, I don't want to pay Alvin Kamara the salary that he's making. But, you get halfway through the year, the trade deadline's not, until November. So you're talking about more than half his salary has already been paid for by the Saints, or if the Saints just cut him and he wanted to stay in the league. But Kamara, I think, would be, a pretty nice addition for the Jaguars in terms of, I don't mean as a third down guy, because I really love LaQuinn Allen, but just somebody that can play first, second down, give you some receiving out of the backfield. But yeah, to your point, Etienne, Kamara, and they really like Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
So
Olave.
and their weapons are good. Juwan Johnson's one of the more underrated tight ends in the league. Yeah, Olave had a great year. They took Tyson in the top 10 of this draft receiver. So they've got weapons. It's just a question of, will they be good enough in the trenches? And they've just been battling age for so long now. But I'm JJ, you like the Ravens here?
I do. Real quick on Kamara, I just looked it up. Only 18 touchdowns combined over the last 5 seasons of his career.
Wow. Yeah, he really
when
Breeze was done, Kamara's game really tailed off. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, Minnesota at Chicago.
Well, the NFC North, man, any given Sunday, you never know what's going to happen. But because the game is in Soldier Field, I like the Bears in that one.
JJ?
Yeah, I'm going to go Kyler Murray. I'll see what you got to say about that one. Isn't that their starter that coming into this year?
It is, yeah. Well, it's a battle, but Kyler Murray's going to beat out JJ McCarthy. I'll go with you on the upset. Minnesota takes care of Chicago. Cincinnati at Houston.
Houston's another one. They back-to-back home games, but they start Buffalo and Cincinnati out of the
Josh
gate.
Allen and Joe Burrow right out of the gate.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I know what I had Houston doing yesterday, so I agree with you. This may sway me a little bit. But are they going to beat Josh Allen and Joe Burrow back-to-back? I don't think so. I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati. I think the Jags get a 2-game advantage after 2 weeks into the season. That would be huge.
Cincinnati. Thank you, Joey, for going in there and taking down the Texans.
This will be his last start of the year, Joe Burrow. He'll have some practice injury.
All right, we're still in the Sunday 1 o'clock window for week 2. Pittsburgh at New England.
It's another really good game.
I'm telling you, this is why we're doing this exercise, because when the schedule came out, I looked at, obviously what the Jaguars had first, but then you start looking, okay, what do the Houstons have? What are the Patriots? What are the Chiefs? What are the Chargers? What are the Broncos? What are the Bengals? What are the Ravens? The teams that you feel, the Bills, that you feel like the Jaguars are in competition with to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. And all these schedules are so incredibly front-loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of the reason that we're doing this is I think you're going to see some teams as you get to October that you're like, wow, I did not see this team starting 1-3 or whatever it's going to end up being. Again, there's only so many wins to go around. Anybody can just randomly, I think this team's going to go 11 and this team's going to win 12 and this team's going to win 10. But a lot of the guys that do this, they don't add up the total amount of games. There's a finite amount of wins that everybody is going to contribute to. And that number cannot go above it is what it is.
Right.
There's only so many wins in an NFL season. And anyway, so this is why I thought it'd be a fun exercise. So Pittsburgh at New England, who are we going with?
Yeah, this is not a scientific answer. If the game was in Pittsburgh, I'd go Pittsburgh. But because the game is in Foxborough, I'll go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I think A.J. Brown's going to have a big year. I think the Pats not going to be as good as last year, but I think they'll be decent. So I like them to win this game.
All right, Green Bay at the Jets. I'm assuming we're all Green Bay here.
Yeah, I'm going to take JJ's philosophy. I might not pick the Jets the entire year. They are going to be awful.
Smart.
Cleveland at Tampa Bay. We all like the Bucks here.
I do.
Yeah, Cleveland, back-to-back games in Florida. That's interesting.
That is
to start the
it's
year.
like the hottest time of the year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll go Tampa Bay.
All right. Philadelphia at Tennessee. We all like the Eagles in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be Hail Caesar for those about to be slaughtered
Although
in
I'll
Nashville.
be really interested to see what the Eagles have this year with Jalen Hurts. I mean, he looked so terrible.
And I'm not trying to put like words in your mouths here, but I figured on these 3 games that we probably are going with the heavy favorite here. All right, Sunday at 4:05. Jaguars at Broncos.
See, now this is easy to say, well, they went into Mile High in December and won the game, so they can do it again. And while I think they can do it again, I do think Denver is going to be extra motivated because of what happened in that game in December. Plus, Denver added Jalen Waddle. That's hard, man. I'm going to take Jacksonville, but I don't love it.
Okay.
What's the Knicks situation?
I assume he'll be ready. Yeah.
I think the Jags win, but I'll say Denver just to see who you pick.
Okay, I'll take the Jaguars.
Okay.
So we'll say the Jaguars going to Denver, and I think what you saw last year with how Liam Cohen was able to call that game, and that Denver does have Jalen Waddle, but I think the Jaguars are going in. I just think it's a bad matchup for the Broncos with all the offensive weapons that the Jaguars can hurt their defense with.
Certainly was last year.
But yeah, it's a very tight game. Obviously, Jaguars will be an underdog, you would assume, going in there.
See, that's a prime example of what we talked about yesterday, all the weapons the Jaguars have. Like, this is looking way ahead, obviously, but since we're talking about it, if you're the Denver defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, and you got Pat Surtain, probably the best corner in the league, who are you putting him on? Is it BTJ? Is it Parker Washington? Do you try to get him on Jacoby Myers, mix in all 3? I mean, how do you match up with a team like Jacksonville that has so many weapons?
That's the thing. Having Surtain doesn't help you in that matchup because they can just ignore Surtain.
Yeah.
And take advantage of whoever else. And again, Denver's got good players around Surtain, but obviously he's arguably the best.
Well, that's what
probably
they
the
did.
best.
It's what they did last year. Why did
Yeah.
Parker Washington have 1 billion yards in that
Right.
game? Because they threw it away from Surtain.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep it going. The Sunday 4:05 window, Las Vegas at the LA Chargers.
I'm going to take the Chargers. The Raiders are a year or two away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think we had the Raiders 1-0 yesterday. I think there's no way they start 2-0.
All right, but you got to stop thinking that.
I know.
I'm going to have to get the Men in Black thing and erase your
my
memories
memory.
after this segment.
Please do it for the Belgium match.
Seattle at Arizona.
Like we said yesterday, Arizona is actually not terrible. They got really good offensive skill, but that division is just brutal. Man. I mean, I'm doing my NFC West preview this week on Hacker After Dark, and we're talking to all these different folks. By the way, Arizona, I love their quarterback room, like we talked about yesterday with Minshew and Jacoby Brissett and Carson Beck, totally Northeast Florida there. Seattle's going to win the game.
Yeah.
All right. Seattle.
Super Bowl champs for me.
I agree. Washington at Dallas.
Woo.
I'll take Dallas because they're at home.
I'll take Washington because I want to hear what Hayes says.
I'll take Dallas.
Okay. That's who I would have picked.
Let's go Miami at San Fran.
I mean, San Francisco should win that game. If they don't, there are problems.
They've got problems. That's the first Super Bowl I remember as a kid.
Okay.
That Marino, Montana Super
And they
Bowl.
got
The
killed.
49ers killed the
Yeah.
Dolphins.
What was that, 84?
Yeah, we didn't have. We didn't.
Look up Marino's stats from that season.
Oh,
insane.
Oh yeah, he owned like every record
Yeah, so for them
15
to just
years.
destroy him in the Super Bowl like that.
And I can tell you, we didn't have the Jaguars here when I was a little kid. So usually most people were Dolphins fans. Not all. The Bucks weren't very good. So like my childhood friend was a huge Dolphins fan, and so I really kind of gravitated more towards Miami. And we got really excited for the game. The Dolphins, you thought had a pretty good chance, and it was U.S. Belgium.
Yeah.
I mean, the 49ers.
Where was that Super Bowl?
I don't remember, but you'd have to look that up. But anyway, Miami at San Fran. Obviously, those two organizations are in very, very different places in 2026. A lot of people think Miami may go 0-17.
Yeah, I mean, Devon H-San's the only guy that
they
got
play
paid.
the Jets twice,
right?
And that helps.
But they would. I mean, between Tua, Waddle, obviously Tyreek Hill, who may not play at all in 2026. Did you see that report?
Yeah.
Because of his knee injury from last year, his career might be over, which would be unfortunate. Obviously, the Dolphins are in a complete and total rebuild.
By the way, that Super Bowl was played at Stanford.
Oh, interesting.
Very, very weird.
Boy,
the 80s.
How
were
much
just,
has that league changed?
Exactly. The
Can
NFL,
Stanford
man.
get in the bidding for 2032, or is it too late? That'd be a pretty good NIL opportunity for Andrew Luck and the boys at Stanford. Hey, we got the Super Bowl here. We might be able to throw some millions at a linebacker in California to get him to stay close to home.
Now we're playing games in Australia.
That's right. All right. We're staying here in week 2, but we're now to Sunday Night Football. Indianapolis at Kansas City. I think kind of a dud game for week 2 of Sunday Night Football.
Why is Indy in there?
That's my point. But Indianapolis at Kansas City. Hacker, who do you like?
You go back to Houston, starting the year with Buffalo and Cincinnati. Well, here's Indianapolis starting the year with Baltimore and Kansas City. I mean, 2 brutal games for the Colts.
Yeah.
Colts aren't going to go into Arrowhead and win on a Sunday night. I'll take Kansas City.
Yeah, they might. The tanking might start now.
Yeah.
Week 2 after they get killed on national TV. I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right, very good. And then the Monday Night Football matchup, the New York Giants at the LA Rams. Another kind of dud. Week 2 for the primetime games. The Thursday night primetime game is awesome.
Yeah.
Lions,
with
Bills.
Buffalo.
But the Sunday night and the Monday night, I mean, you get to see Mahomes and you get to see the Rams, who might be the best team, but putting them with the Colts and the Giants, respectively.
They just love the Giants on national TV.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'll take the Rams, but
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants, they put up a fight in that game. I like New York coming into the year. I love what they've done with that offense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they've got a chance to be much improved, but that's a tough assignment.
It is.
Going into SoFi, and you like the Rams too?
I do.
All right, very good. Well, that's good. So now we've got 2 weeks of data. We've predicted 2 weeks of the NFL season. We'll do week 3 tomorrow. We'll do week 4 on Friday on the lead, and then we'll look and see what it looks like.
But I see what you're saying, because when the schedule came out, everybody here in Jacksonville goes, oh my gosh, Cleveland, but then it's Denver and it's New England and it's Cincinnati. Well, if you're in Indianapolis, you're thinking, holy crap,
Our
we got
season might be over.
We got to start with Baltimore and then go to Arrowhead on a Sunday night. Houston gets 2 home games, but they got to go Josh Allen, Joe Burrow to start the year. I mean, that's tough,
if
man.
you can win in Denver, you could potentially have a 2-game lead on your rivals in that division.
Yeah.
Immediately.
It's almost like Goodell told the schedule makers, look, the way these quarterbacks get injured, you need to front load this thing.
That's a good point.
Because we don't know what it's going to look like in November and December, so don't worry so much about that. Let's make sure we get September and get this season, get the momentum rolling, get everybody talking about all the amazing matchups that we've had, because I cannot remember a September as front-loaded as this NFL season has. Maybe it was just random,
Well,
but my guess is it was not, that it was a league directive.
Complaining either last year or the year before about how terrible the opening weeks were.
Yeah.
This is a complete opposite.
Complete opposite. All right, great stuff. When we come back on the Frangie Show, let's switch gears and get it to college football. DJ Lagway looks like a different guy at Baylor. He's at Big 12 Media Day this week. What are our expectations for DJ Lagway moving forward? Could he still become a college star? We'll get to that next. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
One of Beard's Diamond's most popular events ever is back. It's Christmas in July. Right now, for a limited time, you get as much as 40% off anything in our showcases. Yes, that includes engagement rings, fashion rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, colored gemstones. This is the annual store-wide sale that everyone loves, because you get December prices in July. Up to 40% off store-wide. Don't miss Christmas in July, exclusively at Beard's Diamond at the St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com. Shop local, shop Beards.
Celebrate America's birthday all this month with a dozen roses from Kuhn Flowers, only $49.95. Buy any color or color combination. A dozen roses, just $49.95 at Kuhn Flowers this month. KuhnFlowers.com.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. You've been building winning teams at Fletcher for years. How does that correlate with installing fences here in Northeast Florida?
Well, Frank, at Coil Fencing, we like to take the coach approach. Implement a game plan and execute it on the field. That's been our winning recipe for 99 years.
And you tackle more than fences, right?
Absolutely. We also service and install automatic gates, perfect for multifamily communities, your business, or residents.
The best defense is a good offense. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
This is Patrick Malarkey. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist did a PRP treatment on my knee, which was absolutely painless, and now I feel fantastic.
David Garrard here, and PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is still working well for me. When I needed professional orthopedic care, I chose Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. My knees thank me every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Weather is as hot as can be, so think ahead. Get your backyard ready for football season with 15% off projects. Plus, get an additional in-showroom discount for both flooring and enclosures just for visiting. Maximize your space and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. If you have the space and the idea, call them today. Showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
The mosquitoes are out in full force. Before they ruin another cookout or pool day, call the experts at Royal Pest Services. Their mosquito and outdoor pest treatments target mosquitoes, gnats, and other nuisance bugs so you can enjoy your backyard. Royal Pest Services. Take back your yard.
I've spent 20 plus years around scoreboards, and here's what they don't tell you. Every number up there is somebody's story. So when I heard a number last week, I had to sit with it. Hacker here, Paige from Awaken 180 told me their clients just lost 1 million pounds. 1 million. That stopped me cold. because I know exactly what my 120 was worth. Moving better, feeling better, down from over 300. Now multiply that feeling. My 120 is stacked in there with somebody's first 10. Somebody's knee that finally quit barking. Somebody stepping on a scale this morning and pumping their fist in an empty bathroom thanks to Awaken 180. That's not a stat. That's a whole stadium's worth of hometown wins. The scoreboard's still running. A doable program, a plan built specifically for you, coaching that adjusts as you go, and free support for life. 1 million pounds down and counting. The next win should be yours. Awaken 180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
We appreciate our friends at Coyle & Sons. Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank on vacation. He'll be back on Monday, but we have Hacker sitting in for Frank. We've got JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. All right, let's get to DJ Lagway. A year ago today, I thought DJ Lagway was on his way to becoming a superstar at Florida. It didn't happen. He had a disastrous second year that really started with an inability to ever be available on the practice field. He never looked like he was really in great shape, and then obviously has a disappointing year. Billy Napier gets fired. Lagway transfers to Baylor. So Lagway arrives at Baylor having completed 328 of 529 career passes, 62%, 4,179 yards, 28 touchdowns, 23 picks, and he hasn't become much of a runner. He's run for 237 yards total in his career. Now, keep in mind, sack yardage counts against him, so the fact that it's 237, and it would be much higher if you went off the NFL, but still not tremendous rushing numbers, and he's only run for one touchdown in his collegiate career. So he's played a lot. He's got, 2 years of numbers here. Hacker, when you see Lagway, and he clearly looks like a different player in terms of his look. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen an athlete that carries their weight more in their face. Because last year, DJ Lagway looked like puffy. Like, this is a starting quarterback. In SEC, you would think, it used to be power, but certainly a massive football program in Florida. And whether it was he could never practice or Napier just didn't really ever care if he went into the weight room or ran more than 200 yards, but he looked doughy, and he looked like he wasn't soft, in great shape. Yeah. I was shocked when I saw him doing interviews at Big 12 Media Day. He has to have lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And you can really tell in his face. Like, now you can actually see that DJ Lagway has cheekbones, which you never saw that at Florida. So it just got me thinking, like, I really liked what I saw out of Lagway in year one. Obviously, year two was a disaster. You have to give him some benefit of the doubt because he made the mistake of putting his career in the hands of Billy Napier. But where are you on DJ Lagway? Are you rooting for him at Baylor? How good do you think he can be at Baylor? Would you be shocked if he ends up becoming a great player in college?
See, one of the things that's great and bad about what we do on a daily basis is the multimedia facet, because all of our shows are streamed, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and we love it. But when we say something, it's archived. So when we're wrong, you can go back to whatever day and say, hey, Hacker or Hayes or whomever said this. You were wrong a year ago. On some occasions, though, we were right. And if you go back to July and August of last year, and boy, I got crushed by Gator Twitter about this. But you can go back. I'm not making this up now after the fact. I did not understand what all the hype was about DJ Lagway after 12 touchdowns and 9 picks and completing 60% of his passes in 2024. I didn't understand it. I had some people telling me, oh, he's going to be a Heisman finalist. Based on what? The fact that he was completing 6 out of every 10, and the fact that he was 12 touchdowns, 9 picks, really didn't rush for much yardage, got hurt. I didn't get that. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back necessarily, but I just wasn't one of these DJ Lagway fans on the field. Now, I had DJ Lagway on when he signed with Florida. I had him on the day he committed to Florida. I am a DJ Lagway fan. It's unfortunate it did not work out for him in Florida, probably because he put his trust in Billy Napier. I think that has a lot to do with it. And Billy, quite honestly, I think in the staff failed him as a quarterback. So I will be rooting for DJ Lagway. And I do agree that he looks better physically now than he did when he was with the Gators. But I just don't think he's ever going to be that 5-star Gatorade player of the year that we saw in high school. Now, in the Big 12, he might put up gaudy numbers because quarterbacks in the Big 12 do put up some great numbers. But I think DJ Lagway is going to throw a bunch of picks. I think DJ Lagway is going to struggle at times. I mean, he might throw for 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Is that a good year?
No.
Probably not. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible, but I don't think he's going to be an All-American or anything along those lines.
Yeah, I think with Lagway, it's going to be a really interesting litmus test for him because I think Napier was such a poor offensive mind that I actually kind of have a gut feeling that Lagway is going to go to Baylor and be better than most people think he's going to be. Now, I have no idea the talent around him at Baylor.
We know Josh Cameron is no longer there.
Yeah, I have no idea how good Baylor's defense is. I mean, he may score 34 points every week, and they may still just go 4-8 because I have no idea about what's around Lagway at Baylor. I'm not even going to pretend that I do. But I do think that the system that he was in could not be more elementary than anything you would encounter in major college football. And so I do think that if Baylor even has a semblance of being competent offensively, I think he has a chance. And this is what I'll say. I don't know how many Baylor games I'm going to watch, but I'm going to watch the opener because they're playing Auburn.
Yeah.
So if you're a Florida fan, that becomes a must-watch
It's the
game.
week before y'all's game.
I mean, that's the thing. You get a scouting report on Auburn, and it also gives you a chance to get a gauge of – because, look, I'm hoping that it's that Billy Napier was terrible. I'd like Lagway to go to Baylor and be great. If Lagway struggles and then you start to wonder – because I think we're putting a lot of – well, Summerall will be better because of how bad Napier was. So the more data points that you get that suggest that, I think as a Florida fan, you'd love to see it. So, I mean, I'll be watching Baylor-Auburn, hoping that Baylor puts up 40 points and beats the Tigers. But it will be you wouldn't normally think Baylor-Auburn is something Florida fans would be locked in on. But that's a big game for Gator fans to watch, particularly when, you're not playing a team of relevance that week if you're the Gators.
I got a DJ Lagway, Billy Napier question for you in a moment, but back to the system. I don't disagree that Napier's system maybe didn't fit Lagway, but the one thing I cannot get out of my mind about DJ Lagway was the cocktail party last year. I don't know what system was good for him, what system was not. All I know is in the fourth quarter, he had a wide receiver that could have fair caught the ball and ran in for a touchdown. And he underthrew that guy by 10 yards.
Because he wasn't in good condition.
He wasn't. I mean, that ball was a horrific throw.
Oh, yeah.
By DJ Lagway.
He probably was winded.
And that will be my lasting memory of him. Lagway at Baylor, Billy Napier at James Madison, because he's been in the news in the last 24 hours, admitting that maybe he was a little stubborn at Florida in not handing over the play calling duties. Do you think Gator fans have a positive thought about Lagway and a negative thought about Napier moving forward? Are they lumped at the hip, or is there a differing of opinion in how Gator fans feel about both guys?
I can only speak for myself. I wish DJ Lagway nothing but the best. He went to Florida, signed with Florida from Texas when Florida had very little going for it. He put his faith in the university, in Billy Napier, and it backfired on him, and it derailed his career. And now he's back home at Baylor where his dad went, and I hope Lagway has a sensational career at Baylor. Billy Napier, I despise. I despise Billy Napier.
Wow.
I think that, it's great that he comes out now and says, hey, I was too stubborn. I mean, anybody could have told him that like 2 years ago. And, he acted like how could Florida possibly fire me? Don't they see all the good I'm doing? He has the worst winning percentage of any Florida coach ever. Now, again, I get it. He had 4 years of brutal schedules. He had a home and home with Utah. He had a home and home with Miami. Ron Zook was a lot like that, too. Ron Zook got stuck with having to play Miami when they were fantastic in his first 2 years there, and it helped derail his career. Wasn't the only thing that did it, but didn't help when Miami came in and there goes Ed Reed for 100 yards and they, hand the Gators the worst loss they've ever had in the swamp, or one of them. This is back in like 2002 or something. But so I get that the schedules were ridiculous that Napier had to navigate through. He didn't have a winning record at Florida. And I do think that the way he handled it did not reflect very well on him. So, no, I don't have anything but scorn for Billy Napier. It'd be one thing if, I like Will Muschamp. I don't really have much of a problem with Dan Mullen. I think he checked out. Muschamp, I think, gave it his all. He just couldn't pick the right offensive coordinator. I didn't like McElwain because he threw the fans under the bus with a ridiculous death threat allegation that was preposterous and never happened. But no, I don't wish Billy Napier any luck. I hope James Madison loses every game they play under him.
See, that's really interesting because, look, I agree with you. Will Muschamp, I think to this day, Gator fans still like Will Muschamp. They like the guy. He just obviously didn't work out there in 4 years. McElwain, terrible. You ask a Gator fan about Jim McElwain right now, they'll bring up the shark or they'll bring up, whatever. They despise McElwain. The teeth,
yeah.
Right. I wasn't going to go there, but they'll bring up the teeth. Butters or whatever people call
I could
him.
win with my dog playing quarterback. Oh, could you now, Jim? Could you now?
What did McElwain always say? Wasn't that something?
Yeah.
Wasn't that cool?
And yet.
Yeah, and yet.
Pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. So
this guy wouldn't know cool if it anyway.
So I think Muschamp is on one side of the tier, McElwain's on the other. Mullen, I think, is more maybe in the middle. Me personally, I would put Billy Napier closer to Muschamp. To me, Billy Napier, and I had very limited interaction with him, interviewed him a couple of times, but he's a guy that I want to go have a beer and a hamburger with and talk football, talk sports. I just didn't want him to be the head coach at Florida anymore. I don't want to have a beer and a hot dog or a hamburger with Jim McElwain. So I would have Napier more in the Muschamp category. For me, I will probably watch James Madison. I will root for James Madison. When Central Michigan was on, when McElwain took over that job, I would passionately root against Central Michigan. I don't feel that way towards Billy Napier.
All right, well said. When we come back on the Frangie Show, it's time to conduct a draft, a World Cup draft. There are 8 teams left. We each will pick 2 teams. We are going to do that next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Feel the heat on the street.
Summertime is finally here.
Feel the energy of the First Coast. 1010XL.
Sweet summertime.
Jacksonville's summer station.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. We're always landing the new releases at Showtime. If it's Topps, Fanatics, Panini, or Leaf, more times than not, you can find it on our shelves. Wednesdays and Fridays are the big release days for hobby boxes. Showtime, Sports Cards, and Collectibles. Update your collection.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Wheeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
ET here for Encore Research. And this summer, discover the power of research. Clinical studies are helping researchers find better ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. And community members like you make it all possible. Your participation could help drive the next generation of healthcare discoveries. Find out how you can make a difference at EncoreDocs.com. Research moves forward because of volunteers like you. Let's build a healthier Jacksonville together.
Renovations are underway at the golf club at Southampton, but that doesn't mean you still can't come out and hone your game. The practice facility is open Tuesday through Sunday with a great membership offer to work on your game year-round. Log on to golfsouthampton.com or check out their Facebook page. Work on your tee game, iron play, shots around the green, and of course your putting. It's all there and a great way to stay fresh until they unveil fresh new greens in October. Check it all out at the golf club at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company is hiring for an estimator. Are you a motivated, customer-focused professional who enjoys working with people and doing things the right way? We want to hear from you. Send your resume to JCW Roof at jcwroof.com or call 904-396-1546. Family owned and operated since 1946. Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company, the first name in Jacksonville roofing.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler.
If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it, too.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank on vacation. He'll be back on Monday, but Hacker kind enough to sit in with us again today. We've got JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. This is the only Pretender song that I like.
Back on the Chain Gang.
Back on the Chain Gang.
Love this song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
What's the lead singer's name?
Christine Hine.
Okay.
And she was married to the front man from Simple Minds, who
I
did,
didn't know
Don't
that.
You Forget About Me. Yeah. She actually talked him into doing it because Simple Minds passed on it like twice. They didn't write it. It was written for the movie. But anyway, yeah. But well done. Good selection. All right, let's get it to the World Cup. No games today as we get ready for the quarterfinals tomorrow and some unbelievable matchups. Really looking forward to watching it. So I thought it would be fun for us to conduct a draft. Now, there's 8 teams. We're only going to pick 2 teams each to keep it fair, so 2 teams just will not get picked. And they can sign with another squad in undrafted free agency.
Yeah.
But Hacker, you're our guest, so you lead us off. And again, the teams that are available: France, Morocco, Spain, Belgium, Norway, England, Argentina, and Switzerland.
I mean, based on what I've seen this World Cup, France, I would be comfortable taking France and giving you guys the field. I actually get another pick, which I think is great. I'm going to take France because to me, they've been the most dominant.
JJ, what do you think? France by far number one. Would you have taken France number one?
I would have.
I would have too.
I picked them before the tournament. They have the best attacking talent I think I've ever seen at a World Cup, honestly, with their front three. And, they have guys on the bench. Like, there's a guy named Ryan Cherky who's one of the best players in England who can't even see the field for France. That's how stacked they are. He's gotten like 30 minutes this entire tournament. But Spain has given up 0 goals through this entire tournament so far. They don't have quite the scoring prowess as France do, but these guys just won the Euros 2 years ago. You know, they have killers all over the field. Lamine Yamal is one of the best players in the world. He's their right-sided attacker. I'm going to go Spain as my first pick.
I would have taken Spain at number 2. What about you?
Yeah, Spain, yes.
They play Belgium, by the way.
There would have been a thought about England, because I just think maybe they're the team of destiny type deal, but I probably would have gone Spain.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, to me, it seems like, and I don't think it would have been unheard of if he had gone Spain over France.
No.
But I would have taken France, but I definitely think it's like France, Spain, and then it seems like then there's a little bit of a gap. And not a huge one.
Especially because of the matchups. Like, England is great, but they could lose to Norway.
Right.
I think most people think France is going to beat Morocco and then Spain over Belgium. Although, I disagree with most of the experts about the Belgium game. To me, I've seen everybody acting like they have no chance. I think that they're peaking at the perfect time, man. A lot of people were talking about how they didn't do well in the group stage and da-da-da. Who cares? This tournament and all these major tournaments are about peaking at the right time, and that is exactly what Belgium did. I mean, we really lit a fire under them. I thought they looked perfect in our game the other night. And so I still think Spain will win, but I think it'll be back and forth, and I think that 0 goals allowed is going to go away after this game.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's my turn. I've got picks 3 and picks 4. I will take Argentina, the defending world champs, although they've certainly had a huge scare over Egypt. I'll take Argentina, and I will take, boy, it was tough. I did go back and forth with Norway and England, but I'm going to take England just because I think they're a little bit more established. So
that's the game of the quarters, most people think.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are my 2. So I'm done. Argentina, England. JJ, it goes back to you with already having Spain in your corner.
I guess I'll go Norway. The Holland factor. They also have a great midfielder in Odegaard. I don't think they'll beat England, but I mean, he's right behind Harry Kane when it comes to best strikers in the world. So I'll go with Norway for my second and final pick.
So that leaves me, Morocco, Switzerland, or Belgium?
That's correct.
Yikes.
By the way, shout out to Europe, 6 of the 8 teams.
6 of the 8.
Yeah.
I mean, Morocco's a great team. They were a semifinalist 4 years ago, but I just don't think they're going to beat France. Although I guess I could hedge my bets. If I take Morocco, I'd guarantee a semifinalist.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'll tell you who I'll take. Because I don't trust Argentina.
Dude,
Argentina has been, they have been 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah.
Have been in their jerseys and maybe other places for it to get by the last 2 teams. So I'll take Switzerland because Switzerland beating Colombia yesterday. It's their first time ever winning a penalty shootout in a FIFA World Cup.
Oh, wow.
Just because of the matchup, I'll take Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland's like a team that can't win the final, but they could certainly knock off Argentina. Like their style of play, they're going to slow everything down. They're going to make it low scoring. And how many miracles does Messi have left in him?
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
Craziness.
It is going to be. Who are you guys personally rooting for?
Anyone but England.
Really? Like, you don't care?
No, I would rather not see Argentina win back-to-back.
Okay.
Because I just like that it hasn't happened. And Argentina would tie Italy at 4, which I really don't want to see.
Okay.
But
who would you root for if it was France, Norway?
France.
Who would you root for?
Oh, no, probably Norway.
Okay.
But because I picked France, I want to be right.
Okay.
So I'd probably go with France.
What about you? Who are you rooting
there
for?
are 4 countries that have a spot at the Epcot World Showcase.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think who has the best drinks between Morocco, England, Norway, and France. I like the Morocco Pavilion.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of that at Epcot, so I'd probably root for them. But no, all kidding aside, I'd probably go Norway just because this Thor, I call him, Holland. I mean, that guy is
awesome.
an absolute
I call him Brock
beast.
Lesnar.
Oh, he's so
Have you
fun
seen
to
the
watch.
video of him slapping the back of the kid in the tunnel and like giving him dap? It's so, oh my God, I'm sending it to you immediately when we go to commercial. He just is like such a cool guy. He's just fun.
All right.
But you know what I am cheering for real quick before we go to break? I want to see France versus Spain, and I want to see England versus Argentina.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want two really good semis. So, like, upsets are fun and everything, but at this point in the tournament, I want to see the killers play each other.
All right, we'll give you our World Cup draft recap. Hacker had the first pick. He took France. JJ went second. He took Spain. I then took Argentina and England. JJ completed his team with Norway, and Hacker took Switzerland, and Morocco and Belgium left at the altar. So fun stuff. I appreciate you guys doing that. When we come back on the Frangie Show, did Billy Donovan maybe do Florida a huge favor in taking the job with the Spurs? We'll get to that next. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harold & Harold. After an accident, everything can feel chaotic and stressful. You're dealing with insurance calls, medical appointments, car repairs, and for most people, it's stressful and unfamiliar territory. That's where Harold & Harold comes in. Their team knows how overwhelming this time can be, and they guide you through every step of the process so you're never left wondering what comes next. If you've been injured and need someone in your corner, call Harold & Harold at 251-1111.
Ever wonder how Dan and Jeff got hired at 1010XL?
I'm just looking to hire guys that I don't mind hanging out with.
The drill.
You guys seem like cool guys.
Mornings.
Let's do this. You guys are hired, unless you're like the weirdest guys ever and I don't see it.
On 1010XL.
Great.
This is Frank Frangie. Planning a summer road trip? Before you load up the family and hit the highway, make sure your tires are ready for the miles ahead. Big Chief Tire now offers special online-only tire pricing, giving you access to the best tire deals when you shop through their website. It's an easy way to save money and drive with confidence this summer. Shop online and schedule installation at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. Your next road trip starts with the right tires.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Listen to whatever you like, whenever you want.
I like this.
1010XL on demand. Ad-free shows after the live shows end. Shuttled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Mom!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
You can actually win a side-by-side at Best Bet St. Augustine.
You know it. Only at Best Bet. The more you play, the more chances you have to win.
Poker, great food and drinks, and a chance to drive home in that side-by-side.
That's what all the buzz is about.
Play your favorite poker and table games at Best Bet St. Augustine for your chance to win an incredible side-by-side. Earn entries now through August 7th. Grand prize giveaway happens August 8th.
Now this just got serious.
Get in the action. Feel the excitement at Best Bet St. Augustine. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $4,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
I'm Pierre Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Josh Hines-Allen was an honorable mention in ESPN's Top 10 Edge Rushers for 2026. The list is voted on by league scouts, executives, and coaches. CBS Sports' Brad Crawford has projected FSU to go back to a bowl game for the first time since 2023. Jumbo Shrimp lost yesterday 7-8. Game 2 against the Durham Bulls is tonight at 7:05. Just 8 teams remain, and 1010XL has World Cup updates all day. It's 97 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank on vacation. He'll be back on Monday. I'm Hayes Carline, along with Hacker and JJ. I wanted to ask you, we talked about Billy Donovan going to the Spurs and how that could lead to Billy Donovan becoming the Spurs coach if Mitch Johnson, stumbles for whatever reason. I get it. He just got the Spurs to the final. He's probably on fairly sound footing with the organization, but he was bad with the timeouts and allowed the Knicks to go on those crazy 17-0 runs throughout the second half of those games that JJ pointed out. The Spurs always had a double-digit lead in the first quarter and still lost in 5, so you never know. But it got me kind of tipping the next domino over, which was if Billy Donovan succeeds Mitch Johnson in San Antonio, which to me, Billy Donovan doesn't take that job unless there is some kind of a wink, wink, if things go bad, you're our guy. Otherwise, I just don't know why he would be an assistant at this stage of his career. But as you move that forward, if the Spurs job opens and Billy Donovan fills it, might he have unintentionally done a huge favor to the Gators? Because if you're Todd Golden, I think Todd Golden is eventually going to go to the NBA. But I also think Todd Golden is probably smart enough to realize he has a great thing going in Gainesville. If he's going to go to the NBA, he is going to align himself with a really good situation. Like, he is going to look for a young star to coach, knowing this is a player that can take us deep into the playoffs and keep me on sound job security for many years to come. So you guys are obviously very much into the NBA. Do you buy that theory? But also, Hacker, if you're Golden, which stars would you be prioritizing trying to coach if Wemby is unavailable?
Yeah, you'd have to think about guys that are on the hot seat. The interesting thing about the NBA is that guys aren't on the hot seat until they're on the hot seat. I mean, it happens quick in the NBA. Jamal Mosley was not on a hot seat in Orlando 12 months ago. He was dismissed after the season pretty quick. So you have to take that into account. Here's my thing with Golden. Everybody brought up the Golden State stuff when that report came out, and I thought, well, Condon already announced he was coming back. Houck already announced he was coming back. Those guys aren't going to announce they're coming back. Boogie Fland as well, if they had any inkling whatsoever that Todd Golden was leaving. Now, I'm going to enjoy this Gator basketball season because it might be something really special. But next year, when Houck is gone, and Condon's gone, and Shinu's gone, and Aberdeen's gone, and Boogie Fland is probably gone, at that point, does Todd Golden look around and say, all right, cupboard's pretty bare now, especially if he wins another national title, regardless of what NBA team it is, does he think about it? Because I don't think Golden's ever going to have another team like he's about to have. You just don't keep that front court together as long as he's done. It's a rare situation. So I would advise Gator fans to enjoy this season because I don't know if it's necessarily a shoo-in that Golden's back in 27-28.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like it's headed for a rebuild after this year. But again, with NIL, with the fact that he's now a star of the profession, the biggest thing really is if Florida has committed $25 million in NIL to basketball, you can't then just lower that number to $12 million. Like, you can't do it. Then he will be out the door.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've met, and again, Scott Strickland, smart guy, like, he's going to know, all right, if we're giving Todd Golden $25 million or access to up to $25 million for this roster, yeah, we may not spend $25 million, but you can't tell Golden he's only got 12. Like, I'm sure they're going to tell him, look, you can spend up to $25 million. You're not going to go backwards, is my point. Particularly, you're not going to sour the relationship with a national title coach who's also won an SEC tournament and regular season title. As you look at the like the Oklahoma City guy, Dagnow, looks like he's on pretty sound footing. Like, it doesn't seem like, they're probably going to be awesome again anyway, so it won't matter. But it seems like, he's got kind of the support of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other like, could you see like would the Lakers be appealing just because it's the Lakers, even if like they're not necessarily as strong?
They have
like,
Luka.
If you had to guess on where Golden might end up,
they like JJ though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you think? Because you guys know the NBA coaching situation.
Yeah, just
far
thinking out
better than I
loud,
do.
if you're talking about the best players in the league that might have a coaching issue, I mean, the Knicks, Mike Brown's obviously not going anywhere. I agree with JJ. I don't think JJ Redick's going anywhere in LA, at least for the time being. Cooper Flagg just got a brand new coach, right? And Dusty May from Michigan. So I'd have to think about that one as far as young talent that might be looking for a new head coach after the year. Because I hear your point. If you're Todd Golden, maybe you don't go take the Charlotte Hornets just to get in the NBA and to lose 60 games a year. I understand that aspect of it.
Maybe if Detroit has a down year, because Cade is a guy who's going to be around and be a star for a long time. Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota's done everything this offseason to try to make themselves a contender.
I mean, Golden's a West Coast guy. Portland just hired a new head coach.
You don't want to go to Portland.
The Clippers, I mean, Tyronn Lue, I don't know.
What about, I mean, again, Golden State in another year is going to be even worse situation.
Yeah,
you
want to attach yourself to a star, and none of those places have. Well, I mean, Steph Curry's a star. I'm saying a young star, you know, with a future.
But
go ahead.
When it comes to Golden, though, I do think the conversation has changed, because I remember like when Kansas would come up, like we thought it would, or obviously, you know, North Carolina came up recently. I was in the camp that was kind of worried about that. I'm no longer worried about that. Todd Golden, to me, is not going to coach another college basketball team if he leaves Florida. Todd Golden will leave Florida, I believe, in the next 5 years. Maybe sooner rather than later, but in the next 5 would be my opinion, and it will be for the NBA. I don't believe he's going to leave Florida for another collegiate job.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I think the Spurs would have been a perfect fit for Todd Golden. Like if Mitch Johnson doesn't get it done and he and Wemby butt heads and he's fired, like to me, you crawl to San Antonio to coach
every
Victor
other
Wembanyama.
coach in the NBA would take that job.
Absolutely. Yeah, Golden may not even get it, but if it was offered to him, how do you not take that? But it doesn't seem like there's that, you know, like you knew Jim Harbaugh was going to take the Chargers job because of Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't seem like, again, it may just buy Gators another couple of years, but at this point, if it buys you 2 more years with Todd Golden than you would have maybe had, you take that all day long.
Like if the bottom falls out in Minnesota, you jump at the opportunity to go coach Anthony Edwards.
Right.
You know, something like that. And again, we don't know that until the NBA season comes around, because again, the NBA, unlike a lot of sports, normally in the NFL, you have an inkling that someone's in trouble. Major League Baseball, you have an inkling someone's in trouble. And while that sometimes is the case in the NBA, I'd say maybe more times than not, it comes pretty quick. Like if a team just falters at the end of the year, owners have a very, very short trigger when it comes to replacing NBA coaches.
And all it takes is one player, the star player, to be like, hey, I don't want this guy anymore.
Would Golden,
that doesn't happen in the NFL.
Would Golden be a fit for the Celtics, or with Brad Stevens there, would that not be?
I think they're going to stick with Missoula for a while.
A great coach.
I mean, you win a title, you have a lot of clout for a while after that.
So it's hard to find a spot, I guess is the point.
This would have been the year with Orlando. If Golden State would have come open. I do agree with that. The Gators might have dodged a bullet this past year, and they were lucky that Houck and Condon and Chinyalu came back, because if you're Todd Golden, why on earth would you have left knowing what you have coming back in the roster?
Yeah, without a doubt. It's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully Todd Golden will be Florida's coach for many more years to come, but it seems like any game he coaches from this point on, it's a total bonus. And obviously he's been just a sensational hire for Scott Strickland and what he's done with that basketball program. When we come back on the Frangie Show, let's get back to the NFL. I'm going to ask these guys a question. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow all missed the playoffs last year. If only one gets back this season, who is it? We'll do that next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer update. Checking the Golden Boot race on the eve of the quarterfinals, Argentina's Lionel Messi leads the way with 8 goals. The 21 for his career are the most in World Cup history. Messi's equalizer yesterday against Egypt gave him a goal in 9 straight World Cup matches, extending his own record. 2 are right behind him with 7, France's Kylian Mbappe and Norway's Erling Haaland. Mbappe won the Golden Boot in 2022. His 19 career World Cup goals put him 2 behind Messi. And who knows, the way Haaland is going, maybe he passes them both. It's the 25-year-old's first World Cup. He has 7 goals in just 4 matches. England's Harry Kane, the Golden Boot winner in 2018, he's next with 6 goals. Kane and Haaland will square off in the quarterfinals on Saturday. It starts tomorrow with France and Morocco at 4 Eastern. With this 2026 World Soccer Update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Nobody calls a service company hoping to hear they need thousands of dollars in repairs they weren't expecting. At Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, we keep it simple. Find the problem, explain the solution, provide a fair upfront price. No pressure, no scare tactics, no turning a simple service call into a sales presentation. Just honest recommendations and quality work from a local team that's earned the trust of homeowners across Northeast Florida. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds with as much as 40% off everything in the store. Maybe it's time to treat yourself to a fabulous fashion ring, necklace, or bracelet. You can do it now and save as much as 40% off Beard's already unbeatable prices. And don't forget, Beard's is the town center's locally owned diamond superstore. Don't settle for the corporate chain store experience when you can get the value, service, and attention you deserve. Don't miss Christmas in July. Save up to 40% exclusively at Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Train your putt with pitch-perfect pointers from the pros and Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser on Brunch with the Tour. Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation and North Florida Medical Centers.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
In Jacksonville, we love our sports. You might say we flip out over them. Football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, golf, and there's our outdoor game, fishing, surfing, and just chilling. There's so much to do, it will make your head spin. But keep your cap on because Visit Jacksonville has you covered. Check out visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jax app and stay on the ball for all the upcoming sports events in Jax. Go local, go sports. Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida.
I've spent 20 plus years around scoreboards, and here's what they don't tell you. Every number up there is somebody's story. So when I heard a number last week, I had to sit with it. Hacker here, Paige from Awaken 180 told me their clients just lost 1 million pounds. 1 million. That stopped me cold because I know exactly what my 120 was worth. Moving better, feeling better, down from over 300. Now multiply that feeling. My 120 is stacked in there with somebody's first 10. Somebody's knee that finally quit barking. Somebody stepping on a scale this morning and pumping their fist in an empty bathroom thanks to Awaken 180. That's not a stat. That's a whole stadium's worth of hometown wins. The scoreboard's still running. A doable program, a plan built specifically for you, coaching that adjusts as you go, and free support for life. 1 million pounds down and counting. The next win should be yours. Awaken 180weightloss.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Julington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to Coyle and Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank on vacation. He'll be back on Monday. Hacker here. JJ's here. I'm Hayes Carling. JJ, let's give something away. What you got?
I got a family 4 packets of tickets, to see men's sporting Jacks. They take on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That is
River
Wednesday.
Hounds?
Oh, I know you hate
The Riverhounds are coming in?
They are.
They have the audacity to show their face in Jacksonville
Wednesday,
after what they pulled the last time.
July 15th, 7:30. Hayes' arch nemesis.
I'll be there heckling them.
The Pittsburgh Riverhounds will be in town. Be car number 4 right now at 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
All right, great stuff. We'll have another giveaway later in the show. All right, Hack, let's get it back to the NFL. So Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow all missed the playoffs last year. Those 3 teams combined for just 20 wins, which is really hard to believe. And that was with the Ravens winning 8. So Cincinnati, Kansas City both finished with just 6 wins last year. If only one of those elite quarterbacks gets back to the playoffs this season, who would you put your money on?
That makes it even more disappointing. The Jaguars' first-round exit in the playoffs last year.
It was wide open.
And I think you could say the same thing in Denver, in New England, in L.A., basically everybody but Buffalo, because Josh Allen's Josh Allen. When you did not have to deal with Burrow, Jackson, or Mahomes in the AFC playoffs, that is going to leave a sour taste in your mouth because you know those guys are going to be back. Here's my thing with Kansas City, and people seem to forget this. Mahomes was 6-8 before he got hurt. Now, the Chiefs had lost a lot of games very close, like the one here in Jacksonville on Monday night, but it's not as if Kansas City was some juggernaut when Mahomes was healthy. That was a down football team last year. Now you get Mahomes back. You bring in Kenneth Walker. We'll see. Cincinnati, look, their offense scored a ton of points last year. Their defense couldn't stop anybody. Now, they bring in Dexter Lawrence. They brought in some help on the D-line. They really didn't do much in the back 7. Has Cincinnati solved that problem? And as far as Baltimore, they're basically running it back, but they add Trey Hendrickson to a team that already has Lamar Jackson and already has, obviously, Derrick Henry. So I think of those 3, I would probably give the nod to Baltimore slightly. Cincinnati would be 2. I think Kansas City's 3 because, again, the Chiefs weren't very good when Mahomes was healthy last year.
I'm not sure the Chiefs are coming back. And I obviously think Patrick Mahomes is one of the best to ever do it. But football is, it's there's 22 guys out there. And so you can have an elite quarterback, but if you don't have enough around him, and it just seems like with Kansas City, the age has caught up, and they haven't done a good enough job drafting young players. And this is something that, again, the Jaguars in the coming years will have to be very mindful of. I know they already are, and they've already started the path to this. But when you start paying guys crazy, high-end money, you've got to get those draft picks right. You need that cheap labor that is not just out there, but is contributing and leading to wins. And Kansas City, I just don't feel like has done that. They've just missed on so many offensive draft picks, and I think it's really caught up to them. So I'm agreeing with you. I would go with Baltimore of those 3. If in terms of getting back, first off, people forget how good Lamar Jackson's regular season record is. It's spectacular. Now, once you get to the playoffs, he's 3-5, and that's a totally different story. But in terms of regular season, I think you worry a little bit about John Harbaugh not being there anymore. But to your point, Baltimore had a terrible year defensively last year. I'd be surprised if that happens again. Again, adding Hendrickson, but just they had a bunch of injuries on that side of the ball too.
You bring in a defensive guy like Jesse Minter as your head coach,
and I still just come back to any offense that's got the Yulee Bulldozer, a 2-time MVP in Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, who's certainly a quality receiver. Andrews probably still has a little bit of gas left in the tank. Like, Baltimore is going to be able to move the ball. They're going to be explosive. They just need the defense to just be above average, I think, for them to win that division. And part of this, too, is it plays into that. Now, Cincinnati and Baltimore are both in the AFC North, but that's a much easier division than the AFC West that the Chiefs have to battle through. So I'm with you. Cincinnati, I just don't know if they're well-rounded enough. Burrow, Chase, Higgins, obviously that's fantastic. They did add Dexter Lawrence, but they had so far to go defensively. I also think Cincinnati's under a great deal of pressure this season. I think when you look at Zach Taylor, I think he's absolutely on the hot seat to deliver. So I think with Burrow, I think there's a sense of if it doesn't go well this year, does Joe Burrow start to pull a page from Carson Palmer's playbook and say, I got to get out of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need to trade me, get whatever you can get, but I do not want to finish my career here. So I don't get that, and I don't think there's not pressure on the Chiefs. They're 3-time world champions. Andy Reid's going into the Hall of Fame. Patrick Mahomes going into the Hall of Fame. Travis Kelce's going into the Hall of Fame, and Chris Jones is probably headed to the Hall of Fame. So there's no real pressure on the Chiefs. I don't think that there's a ton of pressure on Baltimore because it is a first-time head coach. There's pressure on Lamar to deliver, but that's more in the tournament than regular season accolades. So I think when you factor that in as well, makes me like Cincinnati a little less. But again, that AFC West for the Chiefs, I mean, all of a sudden that's become a gauntlet. I mean, you got 2 games against Denver. You got 2 games against the Chargers. The Raiders still aren't very good, so you'd like to think that that's 2 wins. But, if you're the Chiefs, you could go 3-3 in divisional play, and I don't think anybody would be shocked by that.
I mean, if you rank the divisions in the NFL, I would go the NFC West number 1 with the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. I mean, you legitimately have 3 of maybe the top 10 teams in the NFL in one division. I'd go the NFC West number 1. NFC North, is that better than any AFC division with Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago, and Minnesota? Probably. So I would have those 1 and 2, the NFC West, NFC North. And then I think your next 2 divisions are probably the AFC West, the AFC North, and then I'd probably have the AFC South somewhere in there as well in that 4 or 5 range.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think the NFC South is probably the worst.
Getting better, but I still think it's the worst.
The AFC East is top heavy, but also got two atrocious teams in it, and the Jets and Dolphins. The NFC East, I think there's potential there for it to be much stronger than what it has been, because I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a huge year, and I think Washington's going to come back somewhat from the disaster last year.
Are you high on Jackson Dart?
I think he's okay. I think I wouldn't say I'm high on him, but I like the direction so far of what I've seen from Jackson Dart. So I think that, and the Giants the Giants may have one of the most elite pass rushes going with all the talent that they've assembled there. So I do think John Harbaugh there, steady experience. I think that's going to help them. And Dallas is going to score a ton of points, and they've invested a lot in their defense. So we'll see, and we know what Philly is. But yeah, I think you're on the right track. If you had to guess, I kind of limited you because I said if you could only pick one. But if that was off the table, do you think how many of these teams between Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Chiefs, Ravens, Bengals, how many of them do you think make the playoffs?
I think two of them do. I would think Baltimore gets in, and I would probably think Cincinnati gets in. I would put Kansas City third. And again, people say, well, that's outlandish because Mahomes tore his ACL. I believe there was an MCL involved there as well. He did it in December. And again, I understand they win a lot of games, and they used to win a lot of these close games. They did not win those close games last year. They would not have been in the playoffs 14 weeks into the year when Mahomes was healthy. They were losing games in the fourth quarter, and they were on the outside looking in before Mahomes even got hurt. And another thing to consider with Kansas City, they lost both of their starting corners. Both guys that started at corner for them are now the starting corners for the LA Rams, and Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. So there are issues with the Chiefs. I mean, I don't think they're going to be 5-12, but I don't know if they're going to be 12-5 either. I think they're going to be in that 8-9, 9-8 range, and I don't know if that's going to be good enough to get an AFC wildcard spot.
The other thing, I think those are all great points. The other thing, too, about the Chiefs, this is rare in pro sports, and it's really rare in the NFL, but the Chiefs had it. The Chiefs had mystique. And that is gone.
Yeah.
You have a 6-11 season, and that mystique is blown to smithereens. So the magic, the aura that Kansas City had, I don't think exists anymore. Now, they could certainly get it back if they're able to turn things around. But I think that won them some games. I mean, I think in that stretch, they won games because they believed that they could win. And there were teams that, frankly, were like, well, I hope we can beat the Chiefs, but it's the Chiefs, it's Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, it's Kelsey, it's all. I don't think that exists anymore.
I mean, I think
probably a lot of coaches coaching to not lose against them.
Without a doubt.
Are they the third best team in their division?
I think the Broncos take a step back. I think the Chargers win the division. I'll say it goes Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos.
Okay. I mean, I think the Chargers are going to win that division too. I would probably go Denver, actually, in front of Kansas City the way it stands now. Now, again, I don't think the Chiefs are, picking in the top 5 of the 2027 draft. But I just don't, like you said, the mystique is gone. When you look at the overall roster that the Chargers have, the overall roster that the Broncos have, and the overall roster that the Chiefs have, I'm not sure there's much of an argument that the Chiefs are third on that list. Now, can they win some games? Can they play above their head? Can Mahomes have some magic still in there? Sure. But if you're looking at roster, I would take the Chargers and the Broncos roster over Kansas City's right now.
Yeah, great points. When we come back on the Frangie Show, we'll give you the golden moment. We'll do that next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Well, it's earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Now, look, I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. That is a true story. I started in 1982 buying my cars from Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul. He taught me how to buy a car, and I've been doing it ever since. I trust my friends at Nimnick. They care about the community. They care about their customers. They do it right. They've supported our charity, Walk Off Charity, so many times. I really do appreciate them. If you want to buy a car, you want to be treated right, not just when you buy the car, but after the sale as well. Well, that's what they do. They care about their customers, they care about this community, and they care about treating you right. So who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? That answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Visit their showroom off Cassett or go to nimnikchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Feel the roar and chase the wind to victory lane.
To the checkered flag! Who gets here first?
Sunday at Echo Park Speedway.
What an incredible finish!
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione! Campione Law!
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Go where the air is fresh and nature is your landscape.
Amazing, isn't it?
We go to the great outdoors with Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnik Outdoors Show every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
This is David Garrard, and as a former quarterback in the NFL, I used to take a lot of knee punishment from defensive linemen. But with the PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, my knee problems are well behind me.
This is Patrick Malarkey. My friend Jeannie recently had hip replacement surgery at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and she's doing really well. My experience at Southeast Orthopedic has been nothing short of exceptional.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
Tommy Mack here for Duval Glass and Mirror. You don't have to remodel your entire home to make a big impression. Sometimes all it takes is a beautiful frameless shower, a custom-cut mirror, or just replacing that fogged, cracked, or outdated glass that's been bothering you for years. Jacksonville homeowners trust Duval Glass and Mirror for expert craftsmanship, honest service, and flawless results. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. There's only one name for glass and mirror. It's Duval.
Nothing says all-American like a great meal and a great deal. MyGate Rewards members. Grab any roller grill favorite, Lay's brand chips, and an ice cold Pepsi or Gatorade, all for just $5.50. The all-American meal deal only at Gate. See store for details.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, the golden moment today was our discussion about DJ Lagway, the former Florida quarterback that is now at Baylor. He has really slimmed down, looks like a totally different kid. And, he's thrown for over 4,000 yards in his career, 28 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. Obviously, it was difficult at Florida. And Hacker, we had a good talk about whether we thought Lagway would be able to rebound. I think I'm maybe a little bit more optimistic that he can maybe than you are. But his head coach, Dave Aranda, at Big 12 Media Day gave on 3 a tremendous quote about DJ Lagway and the difference with him being now at Baylor as opposed to the environment at Florida.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Big 12 Media Days are already underway. In fact, they're wrapping up today. So Dave Aranda was asked about DJ Lagway's experience at Florida. He said, quote, "It was like wearing a straitjacket." He elaborated, this is Dave Aranda, quote, someone that is just all boxed in and boxed up and just wanted to be free, express himself, play free. And I think he's felt that at Baylor. So quite a quote from Dave Aranda saying DJ Lagway's experience at Florida was like him wearing a straitjacket.
That is quite a quote. And again, just as a reminder, Baylor opens the season against Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that's Florida's first SEC game is a trip to the Plains to play Auburn. So, Baylor-Auburn is one to circle, if nothing else, just to scout Auburn. But, obviously to see, does DJ Lagway look like a different player?
And I don't know about a straitjacket. He looked pretty free when he had no one around him against Georgia, and he underthrew the ball by 27 yards.
Yeah. Well, when you're wheezing,
Oh,
because
my
you're
gosh.
apparently 30 pounds overweight compared to what he is now.
And again, I hate to talk bad about the kid, and I
it's
do
a
hope,
terrible pass.
I do hope
Yeah,
he succeeds.
Terrible
But that is my lasting memory of DJ Lagway. That's one of the worst passes you'll ever see a college quarterback make.
Absolutely. But it's hard for me to explain how a true sophomore can look like he's as doughy as Lagway looked last year because he never practiced and they were worried about him getting hurt. And it's clear that Napier didn't put any guardrails on him. I mean, and I think Lagway's even sort of conceded that he was eating kind of a poor diet and more like fast food kind of stuff. And it shows. I mean, I was shocked when I saw how thin he is at Big 12 Media Day. Because you just don't often see, that position, but also at that age, to see a 19, 20-year-old quarterback who clearly has lost significant weight. Anyway, so I'm excited for DJ Lagway. I hope it goes well for him. But we will certainly see. JJ, the Braves are only up 2 games, man.
Oh,
they haven't turned it around.
I thought it was even less than that at this point. Yeah, the Braves are going to be competing for a wild card spot.
Wow.
I said this like a month or so ago. I said by the All-Star break, the Braves won't be in first. I was laughed about that on this show.
Yeah.
It's happening, man. So we have 4 or 5 games left until the All-Star break. I would be shocked if they're still in first. They are just doing anything they can in the rotation. It's basically Chris Sale and everybody, just a bunch of randoms. They had this poor kid, Waldrop from Florida, the Gator kid. He was a first-round pick a couple years ago. He's not ready for the majors, but because we don't have anything else, we've just been throwing him out there. He got shelled yesterday. Paul Skeens has not won a game in over a month, almost 2 months.
It was 9 starts, wasn't it?
Yeah, guess what? Played the Braves yesterday. Easy win. Easy win for Paul Skeens. So they are just absolutely reeling right now. I've never seen a team start the way they did and completely capitulate. It's crazy how bad they've become, man. They can't hit and they can't pitch.
And I mean, they're going to have to make some moves here.
Lots of moves.
I mean, how's the farm? Do they have prospects?
Yeah, they do. They do. They have some really good prospects who at this point, I don't want them to give them away because I'm are a couple pieces really enough for this team at this point? And you would ask me a month or two ago, I would have told you, oh, yeah, maybe we'll add a piece here or there for the World Series run. Now I'm is it even worth it to try to get the wild card?
Wow.
Life comes at you fast.
It really
man.
does.
It's crazy how bad they fell off.
Yeah, maybe they'll pick it back up. When we come back on the Frangie Show, we will hand it off to Rick Ballou. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The World Cup continuing on Thursday, quarterfinal play in Foxborough, where France will take on Morocco. France minus 420 to advance to the semifinals. Morocco plus 310. At SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles Friday, Belgium against Spain. Spain minus 350. Belgium plus 265. There are 2 matches on Saturday. England and Norway meeting at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Norway plus 186. England minus 235. Argentina, the Cup defending champs, will take on Switzerland at Arrowhead Stadium. Argentina minus 350, Switzerland plus 265.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keystoprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Ever call a service company for a simple repair, and suddenly you're being told you need to replace everything in your house? Not at DuckDuckRooter. Whether it's plumbing, septic, or air conditioning, we start with one goal. Solve the problem you called about. No pressure, no scare tactics, no surprise charges. Just honest service done right. That's why homeowners across Northeast Florida trust DuckDuckRooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or DuckDuckRooter.com.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-400-6600 or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Yo, what's happening, folks? It's your main man, E to the T here. And are you craving scratch-made food, ice-cold 29-degree beer, and every game on wall-to-wall TVs? Head over to Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge.
Santa Claus normally avoids Florida this time of year, but not this year. Christmas in July is happening right now at Beard's Diamonds. Get up to 40% off now through July 27th. Beard's showcases are stocked with all new fashion jewelry, exquisite colored gemstone pieces, and the best selection of diamonds in North Florida. Rounds, emerald cuts, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ovals, from a half carat to 10 carats and more. Come and find the perfect engagement ring now at Beard's and save up to 40%. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
College football fans, I'm Greg McGarity, President and CEO of the Tex Slayer Gator Bowl. Don't miss your last chance to watch college football in Jacksonville before the stadium is renovated. The SEC and ACC face off in Everbank Stadium for this year's Tex Slayer Gator Bowl Wednesday, December 30th at 11:30 a.m. A perfect buy for family stocking stuffers. Act now and get a sizzling summer special of 4 tickets for $100 at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com. TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
I've spent 20 plus years around scoreboards, and here's what they don't tell you. Every number up there is somebody's story. So when I heard a number last week, I had to sit with it. Hacker here, Paige from Awaken 180 told me their clients just lost 1 million pounds. 1 million. That stopped me cold because I know exactly what my 120 was worth. Moving better, feeling better, down from over 300. Now multiply that feeling. My 120 is stacked in there with somebody's first 10. Somebody's knee that finally quit barking. Somebody stepping on a scale this morning and pumping their fist in an empty bathroom thanks to Awaken 180. That's not a stat. That's a whole stadium's worth of hometown wins. The scoreboard's still running. A doable program, a plan built specifically for you, coaching that adjusts as you go, and free support for life. 1 million pounds down and counting. The next win should be yours. Awaken 180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
Certainly appreciate our friends at Coyle & Sons. Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank will be back on Monday. He's on vacation, but Hacker's here with us. JJ is here. And JJ, we've got something to give away, correct?
A lot of giveaways today. I got a pair of voucher tickets to see the Jumbo Shrimp at ViStar Ballpark. You could use those for any game this season, but the Shrimp are at home all week against the Durham Bulls, So be car number 4 right now at 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
All right, very good. We touched on this just real briefly yesterday, but would you consider the Jaguar pass rush to be a strength of this team? Because I would not.
No, I mean, I think they were 27th in the league last year in quarterback sacks. I think they get pressure on the quarterback to an extent. They just have trouble getting the quarterback on the ground, and that needs to change this year.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, let's do this.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick Ballou with us now. Rick, I heard you talking about this last night, and I was in total agreement. How could anyone think the strength of this team is the pass rush? I mean, Hines Allen and Walker are good players, but there isn't anything behind them. And with this diverse offensive weaponry that they have assembled, I was really surprised when ESPN went with the pass rush is the Jaguars' strength for this season.
One of two things. Either they don't watch the Jaguars, or if they do, they're under several substances because there's just no way.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we talked about it all year. And, the only saving grace to that side of the argument, and James Gladstone said it at the season-ending press conference, they measure pass rush by pressures. That's the way he does it. At least that's what he publicly said. That's not the way the media does it here. That's not the way the Jaguars fans think of it. They want more. Now, to me, you had the number 1 ranked rush defense in the NFL. You had a team that completely turned around the takeaway ratio. They were dominant. Fumble recoveries, interceptions. They led the NFL in interceptions in the fourth quarter. Why not come up with one of those two categories? I mean, I've been saying it for years. I remember asking Balky about it a few years ago, and we continue to wonder. It's really the only thing they've done. I wasn't a big fan of them releasing Evan Engram 2 years ago, although that worked out. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm wrong. But I'm still surprised they haven't added at least one more rush end. And you know what? I think they will in the month of August.
Yeah, I think they will too. You get about 10 days in, see what it looks like in pads. Maybe when you come back from New Orleans from those joint practices, that might be a good chance to sort of reset and maybe go get a veteran. What's coming up on Into the Night?
We got a lot tonight. Osher in an hour, so everything on the Jaguars coming up there. Also, my buddy Rick Alexander with the Alexander Law Practice. Kirby Smart, I think, is become a guy who's smarter, no pun intended, when he doesn't speak. I think you should be a guy who's basically a mime. Just sit, smile, and maybe shake your head every once in a while. But his hypothetical about picking up and leaving right now, the SEC as an entity, isn't supported by others in the SEC. Frankly, it's foolish. You got to come together, find something that we can all agree upon and that the NCAA will certainly be behind. So want to get into kind of the latest as to what's going on, NIL, transfer portal, playoff expansion, etc. All that coming up.
Great. We'll be listening. Thanks so much. Hacker, what do you have coming up on after Blue tonight?
Yeah, NFL talk tonight. Vinny Iyer of the Sporting News. A little NBA talk as well. We'll be with you at 8 o'clock.
All right. Thanks so much. Always enjoy it.
Hayes, you're the man.
All right. That's going to do it for us. For Hack, for JJ, for the vacationing Frank Frangie, I am Hayes Carline. Into the Night with Rick Ballou up next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.